What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and you guys, it is time to take a look at a full spoilers for the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's legendary structure decks. And for those who don't know, Akiza, Yusei, and Crow have decks inspired by them that will be featured in this amazing Yu-Gi-Oh! 3-in-1 structure deck. It's going to be three various decks, all included in one, for these iconic duelists from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's anime and manga. And it's going to include basically chibi versions of their ace monsters, as well as new support cards for each duelist. The crazy thing is that Akiza's deck, um, Akiza Crow haven't really had much time in the spotlight in recent years, outside of the small amounts of support cards that have gotten out, which is really cool, especially for those who are fans of Blackwing and those who are fans of Rose Dragon, which their strategies are still very well known in the community. Um, the greatest thing about this is that not only are there going to be reprints of iconic cards from each of the respective duelists, but there's going to be some really cool cards in here that are definitely major reprint changes that people are going to go crazy for this. Now, if you didn't know the controversy of what's going on behind the scenes, the TCG, most of us won't receive this for another 2 weeks. Yeah, that's right. This initially was supposed to come out November 7th, 2025, of 2025, for all, TCG territories. However, the U.S., South America, and I think are the only ones that won't be receiving this on the 7th. So you might have to import this from the EU, because we won't be getting this here in North America till till the 21st. Now, there is a lot of speculation for it, of course, which I won't get into, but I mean, if you put the pieces together, you put the pieces together. And a lot of people are not happy that they have to wait a whole another 2 weeks from this initial release date that was set. So, if anything, I think you need to go talk to Konami TCG about why um, this is happening, because they're the ones that made the announcement that they changed it. And then the EU players, the EU influencers that they have, we're still able to go ahead and make videos for the product, because, well, they still have an EU release, and the EU release date has not changed. So if you're wondering why the EU has got theirs but we haven't got ours, it's simply because Konami TCG has some issues with the product. It could be just getting the product out, or maybe some other situations that are going on. But yeah, that's pretty much why. So, with that in told, I'm going to be reading through each of the cards that are going to be featured in each deck itself. And just for those who don't know, Yusei Fudo was supposed to receive a structure deck in the OCG. No, from the in the has received a structure deck in the OCG. That's where all the cards in his deck is coming from. It's a structure deck that is based off of new cards to enhance Junk Warrior. And actually, funny enough, Junk Warrior got a new monster as well in this deck. And there's also cards supporting Akiza that were from the most previous set that had the cards in it. There's also going to be new cards for, well, reprints of cards from Crow. Yeah, Crow didn't get any new cards. There's no new Blackwings. There's just, reprints of Blackwings and Blackwing support cards in this. And even more so, just generic support for a Synchron era of cards, the Rose Dragons and Garden Monsters, and then reprints of Blackwings and Winged Beast support as well. So, first off is Yusei, and Yusei is going to get a Stardust Dragon token. No, Stardust Dragon alternate art with the chibi artwork, and then the Yusei Chibi token with him on the dual rider. All of them receive that, by the way. It is their ace monster, their dragon, and then the Chibi version, as well as the Chibi version of themselves on their dual runner. Then we have Full Speed Warrior, Encore Bolt Hedgehog, Crossroads Chick, Scraps Synchron, Synchron Fellowship, One Way Synchro, Then 2 copies of Junk Warrior, 1 copy of Will Synchron, 3 copies of Stardust Synchron, Revolution Synchron, Satellite Synchron, Assault Synchron, Jet Synchron, 2 copies of Junk Converter, Doppel Warrior, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Mel Charming Pularia, and I believe this Pularia, I think all the Mel Charmings in this are going to be secret. No, are going to be common. So this is their first common reprint. Then we have On Your Mark, Get Ready, Set. Oh, On Your Mark, Get Set, and Duel in 2 copies. Tuning in alternate art. Oh wait, 1 in alternate art, but the other 2 are going to be in this original art. Then Duel Genesis, Synchron Rumble, Crashing Souls, Scrap Fist, 1 for 1, Scrapyard. Why Scrapyard? Okay. Call by the Grave, Crossout Designator, Forbidden Droplet common. Oh my goodness. Infinity Impermanence common. Synchro Zone. And then Junk Warrior Extreme, Scrap Warrior in ultra rare. We have Junk Warrior in alternate art. Junk Speeder, Stardust Dragon. Excel Stardust Dragon. Formula Synchron, Stardust Warrior, Shooting Star Dragon, and Crimson Dragon. For Akiza Zinski, we have Black Rose Dragon Chibi version, Secret Rare, the Secret Rare version of Chibi Akiza. Then we have Lone Fire Blossom at 3, Witch of the Black Rose, Spore, Rose Lover, Blue Rose Dragon, 2 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, uh, 3 Red Rose Dragon, 3 White Rose Dragon, Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, uh, Rose Princess, Rose Girl, Rocks Rose Dragon, 3, Rudy Rose Witch, 3, Melcharming Meows, then Terraforming Monster Reborn, 2 Miracle Fertilizer Ultra Rare, 2 Black Garden 1 Ultra Rare, 1 Ultra Rare Miracle Fertilizer, Fragrance Thorn, Thorn of Malice, Frozen Rose, uh, was it Right Rose Cluster, 2 was it Balrose Shot, with one of them being ultra rare, so it's 2 versions of those. 2 copies of Infinity Impermanence. Then Bloom of the Darkest Rose Ultra, Black Rose Dragon, Splendid Rose, Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, Moon Ghost Dragon. I cannot see that. I think this is Crossroads Dragon. 2 copies. Polaris, the Empress of Blooms, ultra rare. Uh, Rudy Rose Dragon. Oh, I hate that name because in OC just called Bloody Rose Dragon, and I could easily just call it Ruby Rose Dragon. I don't. The Rudy just makes it sound so just. And then another Rose was a Garden Rose Flora, and that's all the cards that are in Akiza's portion of the structure deck. Then for Crows, we have Blackwing Dragon Chibi Artwork Secret Rare, Chibi Crow Token Secret Rare, Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, Blackwing Bora the Spear, Blackwing Value the Emblem of Honor Ultra, 2 Droll and Lockbird, Blackwing Chris the Crack of Dawn, Blackwing Shurnag the Warning Moon, Blackwing Orisis the Squall, Blackwing Hamati the Dusk, 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Ring, 3 copies of Blackwing Saman the Poison Wind, Ghost Mourner in Moonlight Chill, Blackwing Vati the Emblem of Wandering, 3 copies of Blackwing Shamal the Sandstorm, 3 copies of Blackwing Chirac the Snow Blast, 3 copies of Blackwing Shaddai the Shadow Glimmer, Charming Follows, Mystical Space Typhoon, Book of Moon, 2 copies of Black Whirlwind, Forbidden Chalice, Called by the Grave, Black Feather Whirlwind. Okay, I think that was a mistranslation. It's supposed to be Black Whirlwind. That's the continuous spell for the Black Wings. And then an ultra rare of Icarus Attack, an ultra rare of Blackbird Clothes, Delta Crow Anti Reverse, Black Wing Twin. Was it Twins? Twin Shadow, and then Ultra Rare Blackwing Armor Master, Blackwing Armwing, Blackwing Silverwing the Ascendant, Blackwing Dragon, Blackwing North the Starlight, Blackwing Full Armor Master, two copies of Blackwing Assault Dragon, and Blackwing Bora Storm the Wicked Wind. So that is all of the Blackwing cards, all of the Rose Dragon and Garden cards, and then all of the Junk Warrior and Synchron S cards. So yeah, this is a major wave of reprints. And wow, this is really amazing how many cards they're really putting into this. And I do apologize if it's going to be long. I may or may not timestamp it. I'm not going to timestamp, but I'm just going to say that there. You're going to have to watch this video. Someone else can timestamp if they want to. Just so that it'd be easier, but I ain't doing that. That's more editing that I don't need to do. So, Yusei's deck, all synchron support cards. I think the really big things here is that Junk Warrior fans, those who wanted to play Junk Warrior, you got your glow up. He's got a new monster version. He's got a new version of himself. These are really cool additions to Synchron, but these reprints are just wow. There's so many hand traps being reprinted here. Two copies of Effect Veiler right off the bat. Ash Blossom and Joy Springs reprint, and then Mel Charming Pularia. I don't have any Pularia. I don't have any um, Meows, and I want some more follows so I can have them with access. And this is going to be really, really good for those who want the Milcharmies, couldn't afford the Milcharmies. Bam, here the Milcharmies. I mean, they're just giving away Infinity Impermians because it's like, why is that? Every deck in here has Infirm, and which is good. I mean, it'll drop the cost of common Infirms, but yeah, Imperm's in here. Crossout Designator as a common, which is really good. Forbidden Droplet as a common. I think that's actually really cool because a lot of these staples are very expensive. But then remember, Rarity Collection did drop a lot of these cards as well, um, to where market value was also hit for each of the really needed cards. So I'm still for this. I really am. I think this is really, really cool to see. While the focus is definitely on synchro summoning and the junk aspect, the synchron aspect, and the status aspect of Yusei's deck, I love how all of this cohesively comes into one. But I think a lot of the strategies are going to be moving forward are probably going to push for the summoning of the junk warrior aspect of it, and then going into the synchron stuff to help accelerate into like the bigger Stardust pieces, which has always been the thing about like Quick Draw, Doppel, and them was that they all focus. I'm actually shocked Quick Draw Synchron is not in here, but I guess they just wanted to focus on being able to summon, um, use the other Synchron monsters that now have come into the game. Even so, Junk Converter being here is actually cool because Junk Converter works really well with the Junk Synchron and Junk Synchron cards as well. So this is really, really cool. I like this aspect of Yusei's deck and its focus more so on his Synchron and his Warrior at part of the deck, while still incorporating the Stardust aspect of it because he is, the lead signer. Then our girl Akiza, and I would say I'm a little disappointed because there's a lot of there's a lot of plant monsters that are not here, and I kind of wish they were. Like, maybe that's just me. It's more of a me thing, because I would love to have some more of the plant cards that Akiza had um, in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D, just because, I was trying to build some of those older plant decks for Edison format, and it's really hard to get a lot of those pieces, especially those Phoenician Cluster Amaryllises, which is so weird because it's issues that I had with TCG players, so that's like a whole TCG player situation that I talked about. But I do like the fact that it's going for a combination of her plants, her rose dragons, and even incorporating her newer modern support as well. I believe some of these cards are in the most previous set as well. Some of them are being moved in here, but it's a very good turnout. Miracle Fertilizer, Black Garden, reprints are crazy because they really just had reprints not too long ago. Fragrant Storm, that's a really nice touch too. Triple Blossom, Spore, like all of these editions. She's got some really good hand traps in her as well. She got Meow, Melcharming Meows, but she also has 2 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and then Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. I think more so the fact that ogres and rabbits live in the forest, which is a good homage to the fact that she has the black garden. No telling what's in these gardens. And then the sister and Spooky Dogwood is a nice touch too because, um, the sister, because she's supposed to be based off of a nun in her OCG artwork, and then on top of that, the Spooky Dogwood, the ghostly dog, um, the forest of the dead and stuff like that. It's also a nice touch to just homage all of that into Akiza's deck of the garden and the dragons. And plus, all these goddamn little dragons are being reprinted. That's really cool. Then we move on, of course, to Crow. And I'm going to spend a bit more time here in Crow because I am a Winged Beast player. But basically, almost every black wing that you possibly need is here. I think with Shura, Sorako, and Elfin. But it's more moving into more of an acceleration of synchro summoning for black wings, which is what the modern era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically has done with black themes. First off, I want to just point out that there's 3 copies of Simon the Poisonous Wind, and that's the monster that helps you go get Black Whirlwind and put it onto the board. I'm sorry, as this is calling it Black Feather Whirlwind, which I think was probably a translation issue for the guys who were making this. But every good edition of Blackwing cards is here. Talking of the reprints, of course, it's not to say that we're going to reprint Silverwind the Ascendant because it has been a minute since Silverwind the Ascendant had a reprint. The hand traps here of choice are Ash Blossom Enjoying Springs, Ghost Mourner, Moonlight Chill, and Melcharming Phalos. Phalos is a winged beast, so that's why it's here. Ash Blossom again because of that wind aspect and those falling cherry blossoms. Moonlit Chill and Ghost Mourner, a ghostly girl in the morn of the winds of the night. And what a good touching story to add to that for the wind. Well, even though Crow does not have any winged beast, well, it's the winged beast monster holder here. While his ace is a dragon, subsequently his other ace is a winged beast. Which ties to all the black wings. And remember, if you guys don't know the history of Crow, Crow was never supposed to originally be a signer. It was just the popularity of black wings in the TCG and OCG that made them change the story and script at the last minute. Initially, it was supposed to be Power Tool Dragon becoming Lightstream Dragon, and then them saving Crow from the Dark Signers, because Crow was supposed to be converted from the Dark Signers. One of the Dark Signer monsters was supposed to be his, and that he was supposed to be under the control of one of the Earthbound Immortals, and then fighting against Yusei, and then being freed from the control of the Earthbound Immortal, only to be saved at the end when they defeated Goodwin. So I don't really know how much more into it that they had gotten in the script before they changed it. But from what was leaked, yeah, Crow was never supposed to be a signer. He ended up becoming a signer because of the popularity of his deck, which was, of course, Blackwing. And I'm more so excited about this because, first off, reprints of Melcharming Phalos. Yay. Especially now that it's common. I have basically every other Blackwing card here, except for, like, the wave of Blackwing monsters that are from the newer sets. And Silverwind the Ascendant, who I don't have, and I don't know why I don't have a Silverwind the Ascendant, but I need a Silverwind Ascendant. So this is actually going to help me out too, and plus getting the rest of the Blackwing modern cards too, which is going to be really cool. My personal thoughts on each of these is that they're great adaptations of the respective duelists. They have modern takes on each of their respective decks. We got 3 of them in one, which I did not expect. And I'm even more excited because now the Melcharmies are going to be reprinted. Which means, yes, the common version of the Melcharmy cards are probably going to be floating around like crazy. And do I advise picking up 3 of these? I think the market value for each of these is going to be like $30. So that's about $90. But is it worth $90? Yes, it's worth $90. If you're someone who plays Yu-Gi-Oh, look, just go dump the comments at your locals, keep whatever cards that you want from it, and then just go about your day. Because that's literally what's going to happen. And I cannot wait to get my hands on 3 of these. I don't know if my locals is gonna hold it because I think my locals is probably gonna have an import issue. But there's still a Target, there's still a Walmart. Go to those, go get your decks. Please just don't be like Pokemon scalpers, guys, because for real, it's not. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let us who want to play Yu-Gi-Oh have our fun. You can go have your competitive shit later. But I want 3 of these so I can make these decks. I mean, I might actually do physical deck profiles for each of them as well. So don't threaten me with a good time, because I will do it. And you guys know I will do it. You know I love me some structure decks. And the one thing I love about structure decks is when I see reprints of cards that I need, reprints of cards that I love, and a just overwhelming existence of those reprints to help out the common players, the casuals, but also give cheaper variations to those who are playing the competitive scene and they don't have a lot of those cards. Because Milcharmy Phallus is probably still one of the most played Milcharmies right now, and Pulika and Meowser did not Meows, yeah, have not had a major reprint either. So this is really good for those, because those are part of the announcements of when the structured decks were being announced, was how many of these really popular staple cards were coming in these. I think that's really what a lot of people are going to be doing, is just picking these up for the staples, because I am. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think of each of these structured decks. Are you going to be picking these up? Which 9 out of 10 most of you are. And yeah, I'll definitely catch you guys next time. I'm not going to do my typical video because I got other things to do. But thank you guys so much for watching, and HDJ signing out. Take care.